hopefully now you have seen like all the many functionalities that we have, and among all the functionalities in Knime Analytics Platform 5.5, we added a new agentic framework. This comes with an extension, the Knime AI extension, and here I have put. I wanted to show you all the new nodes that we have added in this new release, Knime Analytics Platform 5.5. As you might know, the agentic framework works with two entities. Let's say there is a tool entity, more tools usually, that are workflows that actually do the job. So you have a tool to, for example, place an order, a tool to book a room with a hotel, a tool to retrieve information about your customers. And then you have the agents that have access to those tools and are able to call them dynamically to solve a more complex task. So I group them into agent and tool nodes. In the agent sides, we have the two new nodes, the agent prompter and the agent chat view, to let you actually create the agentic system. And then we have the workflow to tool node, which is able to convert a workflow to a tool that can be used by an agent. On the tool side, on the other hand, we have two groups of nodes. One refers to the communication layer. And the communication layer is basically the layer that lets the agent communicate with the tool directly. For that, we reuse the configuration nodes, which were actually already there. We'll see them in a minute. And the new node that we added is the tool message output node. And also, we have the new nodes, the workflow input and the workflow output nodes for the data layer. And the data layer is actually a crucial part of the agentic framework. It will become clearer in a minute, but basically the data layer is able to let you move data from one tool to another to let it be processed by the Knime workflows. For that, this was just the overview. Let's jump right into an example. I've created an inventory manager agent for you with the usage of the new chat view node. Before that, probably some of you are already familiar with those nodes. They are part of the AI extension nodes and let you connect to an LLM, so to a large language model. In this case, we are connecting to an LLM offered by OpenAI. So we use the OpenAI authenticator with some configuration. But of course, you can connect to many more providers. Actually, the full list will be shown in a minute, but you can connect to Anthropic, to Gemini, and many more. We also support local models, actually, and they all function more or less in the same way. You put some credential, you authenticate, you select a model offered by that provider. In this case, it's OpenAI. We are connecting to GPT 4.1, but as you can see, there are many more available. And then you use that model to kind of give power to the agent chat view node. And as you can see, as soon as I click to this node, it shows up here a nice interface where I can interact directly with the large language model. And I can ask questions like, for example, what can you help me with? Something like that. And now the agent will reply something like, yeah, I can help you with a wide range of topics, blah, blah, blah. I called it agent, but it's actually so far just an LLM. So I'm sending a string to an LLM, and the LLM is replying with something that more or less makes sense. As you can see, I can set a system message for my agent, an initial AI message. But this LLM is not, this agent, let's say, is not super powerful. So if I ask something like, can you place an order for me? Let's see what it replies, but it will say, I'm sorry, I can't do that. Because as I said, this is an agent without many tools. So to make it really powerful, I need to provide some tools to it. So I need to give it the means to solve the task that I wanted to solve. In this case, the tools in Knime Analytics Platform, they are given by the workflow to tool node, and then one more input to the agent chat view. So in here, I provided one more input containing a list of tools. And those tools are actually the ones that the agent can use to manage my inventory. For example, to compare the sales, to forecast sales, to get the inventories, etc. So now that the agent has those tools available, I can actually ask some questions. For example, let me ask which products will go out of stock in the next 14 days. Now the agent will process a little bit my request, and instead of just saying, I'm sorry, I can't manage your inventory, it will actually reply with something. It will actually say that this product and this product and this one will actually go out of stock in the next 14 days, actually giving you more information like what is the current stock and in how many days it will go out of stock. So how did it happen? What is the difference between asking it to this node and this one is, of course, the tools. So let me set one more option here, show call tools and result. And let me actually ask the same question again, but let's make it more explicit what's going on behind the scene. So in a minute, once the agent will provide the same, it provides the same answer in the end. Now with that option set, I can also see what happened while I was waiting. And in the meantime, my agent called actually two tools. It called the get inventory tool and the forecast sales tool. It's actually also explaining me what it's trying to do. So it's trying to retrieve the current inventory data. It generates the sales forecast for the next 14 days, and then it will compare the two tables, the inventory and the forecast sales, and then it will tell me which product will go out of stock. So it will call the first tool, the get inventory tool, and then it gets in output a data table containing the product ID, the item name, and then the current stock. At the same time, it will also call the forecast sales tool, and that tool retrieves another data table containing daily forecast for each product. So what I'm highlighting here, those are the column names of the data table generated by that tool. And then I can see that I have many columns, 1 day forecast, 2 days forecast, etc., and then the product ID. After that, it will take those two tables, the inventory and the forecast sales, and then it will send it to the compare sales inventory tool, and then the tool is going to process those two data tables, and it will it actually replied here, saying that 4 products will go out of stock. The demo widget A, the super sprocket, etc. With all those information collected by calling all those different tools, my agent will reply to me saying that actually I checked the inventory, I checked the sales forecast, and those are the products that will go out of stock. Now, I've shown how those tools are called, and actually what I want to show you now is how those tools look like. And let's start from the workflow to tool node. For example, the sales inventory, compare sales inventory tool. What I told you is that this tool accepts 2 data tables, and that's what the agent did. The agent called this tool and give it the forecast sales and the inventory data table. And then I can see, if I double click on this tool cell, I can see that the tool has a description that actually explains what it does. This tool compares sales inventory from forecast data to get a list of items that might go out of stock. This information, together with the parameters of the tools and the input that the tools accepts, are all available to the agent. So basically, this description, parameters, input, and output are all information used by the agent to say, I want to call this tool instead of this one, and then I want to call this one and this one. So this information is actually crucial when you define a tool. Let's see another one. For example, the forecast sales. When I double click, I can see the preview, and then it will see that the description says that the forecast sales tools will access sales history, generate sales forecasts for the specified next days, maximum 14 days. So there is one parameter, the parameter days, which is set by default to 14s, but of course the agent, when it calls the forecast sales tool, is able to set that parameter to get more or less days prediction. And also, this tool has one output table, sales forecast table, that contains the sales forecast for each product. So you must be very descriptive when you set up your tools, so that all the information can be used by the agent to make a wise selection in the tools to be called. The other tool that I want to show you is the order products. And as you can see from these icons, by now probably they make more sense to you, these order products don't have any input or any output table. This order product only has 3 configurations. So the order product, as you can imagine, places an order for the specified product, and the parameters that this tool accepts in input are actually the supplier ID, so from which supplier I want to order my products, the quantity, so how many items I want, and then the product ID, which items am I trying to order from that supplier. When the agent decides to call this tool, then it must set all those parameters, and then the tool will take care of it. Actually, let's move to that tool, because I want to show you that actually the tool, at the end of the day, is nothing more than a Knime workflow.